Now at 10, authorities battle a restaurant fire in Joplin. We'll tell you the cause. Plus, Joplin recognizes the 90th anniversary of the Bonnie and Clyde shootout. And Columbus, Kansas asks residents about a policy change concerning chicken ownership.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Today marks 90 years since the notorious crime couple Bonnie and Clyde had a shootout with police in a Joplin neighborhood. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The infamous couple who committed crimes together across multiple states with their gangs stopped in Joplin in April of 1933. Joplin police officers and Newton County constables went to the house to check reports of a gun going off. The officers were not prepared to find the gang inside. The encounter led to an exchange of gunfire, taking 2 law officers' lives. People gathered in Landreth Park to watch an outdoor showing of the 1960s film Bonnie and Clyde this evening, starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. That event kicked off with a vintage car show and food trucks.
It's great to have an opportunity to bring the community together, but doing it outside under the great skies is beautiful. We have a few events we're planning for the Sesquicentennial that are outdoors. Actually, the culminating event will be a big weekend out here at Landreth Park in September. So we can only hope for good weather to maybe pull the events off. It's always easy to pull something off indoors, but to do it outdoors, that's the challenge and always makes people happier.
Also, as part of the anniversary, Joplin Little Theater later this month will perform Bonnie and Clyde the musical. Joplin authorities responded to an afternoon fire at El Vallarta Mexican restaurant. It's on the 2300 block of South Range Line. Smoke and flames came through the roof, and authorities say the fire originated in the restaurant's kitchen. Authorities say the cause of the fire was apparently an accident due to combustible material stored near a heat source. Smoke did spread to businesses next to it, but there were no active flames nearby. Due to the fire, El Vallarta will have no utilities and it's going to be closed until repairs are made. A local pizzeria takes second place in a national competition. Carmine's Pizza in Joplin traveled to Las Vegas for the U.S. World Pizza Championship. There were 90 contestants in the traditional category. Team Testa, including Bill Carmine Cornell, all finished in the top 9. The competition is no joke as it includes some of the very best in the country.
It's really a big deal. I'd like to consider this the World Championships of pizza making. He's truly, if you want to have one of the best pizzas in the world, that's the place to go.
Carmine's Pizza will fly to Naples, Italy in June to compete in the Caputo Pizza Cup, the largest pizza competition in Italy. And while Carmine's won an award, some local students did too. Some area students sat down to enjoy some short films that they created. Missouri Southern today hosted their annual Southern Media Showcase. It's a competition where area students from different schools create their own videos and publications ranging from short films to comedies, also involving news writing. Around 400 students were there. Webb City High School walked away with the audio video sweepstakes. McDonald County won the journalism sweepstakes. It's been a nice day weather-wise. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we've had a really nice stretch of weather, all really dating back to this past Saturday, so 5 or 6 days across the region. And again, today was another great one, pushing 80, started at 52. Normal high is right about 70, so about 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. We do have some mid and upper level clouds kind of sneaking in, so let's call it partly cloudy skies for us tonight. Look at this little low across parts of Mississippi. This moisture and that system combining over the next 36 hours will change our weather up, especially across Central Plains. All right, 65 Fort Scott, 64 in Bonita, 63 in Lamar, 66 in Anderson. As we go through the night, we'll drop back mid-50s, low to mid-50s, but back to 68 by 10 a.m. We are going to be tracking the storm system for tomorrow into the weekend. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. City of Columbus, Kansas is considering changing its current policy regarding chicken ownership in the city limits. Now, the city generally does not allow people to keep chickens in town. The policy change would allow residents to keep chickens, excluding roosters or guineas, outdoors in an enclosure in city limits. City leaders are asking residents to complete a survey to give feedback on the issue. You can get more information on the City of Columbus Facebook page. The new Reba's Place restaurant in Atoka, Oklahoma is creating much more than a buzz. It's bringing in new business. Reporter Aaron Pellett takes a look at how existing businesses are responding to the increased demand for retail space.
Someone like Reba moves into a town, there's lots of people that want to be close. They know she's going to attract the people.
Eugene Broom has owned this building with 4 storefronts since the 70s. His building is next door to Reba's Place, making it prime real estate.
Well, it has grown a lot. You can tell by the rent.
Atoka Economic Development Director Carol Irvin says 500,000 people have visited Reba's Place since it opened.
The market has increased. The rents are increasing because the customers are increasing.
One of the occupants facing rent increase is Herb Bryant. He says he has rented from Broom for over a decade using the retail space for storage.
And he's kicking me out because I'm 87 years old.
Nobody's running Herb off.
Broom says that Bryant used to rent out both of the buildings behind me, but with rent increases, he now just rents out the one.
But I did raise his rent to $650, where all the rest of the buildings were renting for $1,000 to $1,250.
Bryant said he is starting to feel better about the increase, and Broom says he is welcome to stay as long as he wants. But since Reba's Place opened earlier this year, actual businesses want to rent the space for the purpose it's intended. Retail sales, not just storage.
It says there's a list of businesses interested in renting his storefront spaces. Coming up, a young child in critical condition after being hit on I-44. We'll have details. Plus,
the FBI arrests a man for allegedly leaking highly classified documents about the war in Ukraine. I'm Nicole D'Antonio at the White House with the significance of the leak.
a child is in critical condition after he wandered onto Interstate 44 in south central Missouri and was hit by a semi-truck. However, the Highway Patrol says his injuries are not life-threatening. Troopers say the 5-year-old walked onto the interstate just before 6 last night. He was hit by a semi heading towards St. Louis. The Highway Patrol says the boy lives in apartments nearby and wandered away from his mom and dad. The accident happened near the 157-mile marker exit near the Waynesville High School. A member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard is behind bars accused of leaking sensitive documents related to the war in Ukraine. Nicole D'Antonio reports on the day's events from the White House.
CBS Boston News captured video from above as FBI agents arrested the suspected leaker of Pentagon documents.
We do have stringent guidelines in place for safeguarding classified and sensitive information. This was a deliberate criminal act.
Massachusetts National Guard airman 21-year-old Jack Teixeira was taken into custody outside his mother's home south of Boston. Federal officers swarmed the home 1 week after the Pentagon first discovered the highly classified documents posted on social media. The leak started in the fall. The arrest stunned neighbors in North Dighton.
Well, it's just a small town. Unless you live in the area, you don't even know it exists, Overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
The documents were allegedly posted on a gaming platform called Discord, whose members were mostly teenagers. The Washington Post interviewed a member of the group who said the leaks began with text messages quoting classified documents and then photographs of the actual documents. As a member of the intelligence wing, Teixeira installed fiber optic cables at a base in Massachusetts. Federal officials are trying to figure out how he got access to the confidential documents. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
The New York Times says a digital trail led journalists to the suspect. A Times reporter showed up at his childhood home just before the FBI arrived. A tech entrepreneur has been arrested in the stabbing death of Cash App founder Bob Lee in San Francisco last week. San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott identified the suspect as 38-year-old Nima Momeni. Police additionally confirmed that Lee and Momeni knew each other. Investigators did not give any information on a possible motive. A little bit later, the Carthage School District looks to hire. We'll visit a career fair.
Plus, our temperatures warm up even more as we go into Friday. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be another fantastic day for us today. Dating back to Saturday, we've had mostly sunny skies and really pretty good temperatures. slowly warming up as we have worked through the week. Still pretty much clear. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's zoom in. Look at our highs today. This is fantastic. 75 in Sarcoxy, 80 in Afton, 80 in Chanute, 79 in Fredonia. So everybody got up there. It's still not bad right now. Most of us are sitting into the mid 60s, and we'll drop back into the mid 50s later on tonight. Let's go outside. Here's 7th and Rangeline, clear skies, pretty much clear skies up top, 65, humidity at 50%. A little breezy out there today. The winds have kind of calmed down a bit over the past couple hours, but these are actually going to pick back up once again as we get into tomorrow. Not like super windy, but breezy. We're going to have southerly winds kind of gusting in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range. Through the night, clear skies, 63 here shortly at 11, down to 56 by 7. I think our overnight low right around 53. We rebound to 68 by 10 a.m. So we look good. Not much going on here. Look at this little upper level low right across parts of Mississippi. This is going to eject some moisture into the Central Plains, into this next storm system that is going to be moving in for us as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Interesting enough, the timing of this system really makes it kind of shoot around us. By tomorrow afternoon, thunderstorms are going to get going in central Kansas. They're going to be severe, and a few of these could get into our northwestern counties. So very low severe threat on the Kansas side, none once you get into Missouri. And then by the time the front works through and then thunderstorms fire up along it again on Saturday, the system is mainly going to be east of us. So let's break it down. Let's go through tonight, mid-50s, mostly clear skies. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, mid-70s by noon. Most of us top out 80 to about 82. So it's going to feel very nice, very summerish by Friday afternoon. Tomorrow evening, there go the thunderstorms. Central parts of Kansas, most of them push up toward Kansas City. One of those guys may get in here late tomorrow night into Saturday morning. So we could get a few scattered showers, a few scattered thunderstorms to start the day on Saturday. But then the front drives through. Thunderstorms fire along the front again, but look at this. They're really going to fire from central Missouri to Springfield to Branson, so just to east of the region, and then big time severe weather again on Saturday. So the severe weather just kind of skirts around us, which I don't think anybody's complaining about. It looks like it's pretty good news. All right, day planner for you, 64 at 9 a.m., 76 at 1 by 5, up to about 79 degrees, and I think most of us will top out right around 80. 74 on Saturday, some morning scattered thunderstorms. Quite a bit cooler on Sunday. Look at these overnight lows. We're going to be pushing frost level Sunday morning and Monday morning, and then we warm right back up as we go through next week. A chance for storms Tuesday, severe threat again Thursday and Friday of next week.
Citywide garage sale kicks off in Neosho tomorrow, at least for day one of that two-day event's looking pretty
Overall,
good.
pretty good.
And we're going to be there at
Yes.
noon 5 and 6. Thanks, Doug. The Carthage School District is looking to do some hiring for summer positions. The district hosted a hiring fair. Some of the positions they're hiring for deal with maintenance, custodial work, transportation, and food service.
Summer's a good time to get new people in. It's a good way to get a tryout for the regular school year, but also with maintenance. The grass is growing, so we gotta get out there and get that addressed too.
The hiring fair will continue tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Carthage Administration Building. Some Joplin High School students got a preview of a career in the construction industry. 8th through 12th graders at College Heights met with construction employers and training organization for a hand-on experience. Officials say the event gives interested students kind of a foot in the door to a career.
Actually had some students that have been interviewed. We have a young man that came through earlier today to look at apprenticeships, so he got to talk to all of the different companies here that have apprenticeships. So he got to go home and learn about plumbing and pipe fitting and carpenters, laborers, iron workers, different construction companies.
The event was organized by Eckerd Connects and the Workforce Investment Board of Southwest Missouri. And some folks gathered in Fort Scott today to begin building their future careers. The Ellis Fine Arts Center at Fort Scott Community College hosted a job fair. It's a chance for students and other job seekers in the area to look for both part-time and full-time positions. 20 businesses were at the fair.
Issue that employers are desperate for employees, and especially qualified employees that need certain credentials for jobs. So we find that the job fair is just another great way to get the word out about positions available.
Again, that job fair in Fort Scott. Still ahead, we look at the early success of the Frontenac boys golf team. And the Webb City Cardinals are in action, looking to win back-to-back home games for the first time this season. Highlights from the game coming up next.
The Webb City Cardinals have started the season with an 8-6 overall record. Webb City began conference play last week, and today they meet their conference opponent Republic for the second time this season. Webb City on their home field against the Republic Tigers. Cardinals won the first meeting against Republic, have a chance to make it two. Landon Fletcher on the mound for Webb City. The sophomore has been a rising star this season. To the top of the first inning, gets the hitter looking there. Gets another one swinging in the second. And then into the fourth, showing off some high heat. Frustrating hitters all day. Fletcher strikes out 8 of his first 12 batters he faces. He was locked in today. How about some offense now? Bottom of the second, no score. Kinley Hood smashes one deep to center field over the center fielder's head. And that's a 1-out double. But Webb City was held scoreless, so to the bottom of the third, Sam Weller at the plate. He goes opposite field to drive in Gage Chapman to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. Webb City goes on to win the low-scoring battle against Republic 3-2 over the Tigers. Kaylor Darnell got the walk-off base hit to win it for Webb City. The Baxter Springs Lions host a big CNC softball doubleheader tonight against the Girard Trojans. These two teams have been the two best teams in the Southeast Kansas to start the season. Baxter Springs 7-2 through 9 games. Girard is 6-1. Coming into the night, hot start for Girard in the first. Stan Bruchin high flies to left center field, clears the fence for a solo home run. Trojans score 5 in the first. To the fourth, they're up 7-3. Eleanor Reek drives this one to the gap all the way to the fence. Run scores for Girard. Take a 9-3 lead after 4. Next inning, Emmeline Sinnekit sends it back up the middle. 2-run scorer on the RBI single. Trojans push the lead to 11-3 after 5. Girard goes on to roll in game 1, 15-3. So in game 2, the Trojans tried to sweep for the doubleheader. Once again, the bats get hot for Girard as they win it 15-7. Trojans are now 8-1 overall this season, including a 6-0 start in the CNC. The Frontenac Raiders golf team is off to a hot start this season. They've won both of the tournaments they've played in this year. With that being said, they've set high goals for themselves to be one of the best teams in the state. The Frontenac Raiders have won back-to-back tournaments to begin the season. The Raiders finished 1-2-3 at the Baxter Springs Invitational Tuesday. Vinny Pyle finished in first place in the tournament. He has high expectations on what the team can accomplish this year.
This season, I think we're really good. We got really good depth. We improved a lot from last year. I think we can have maybe even 4 people in the top 20, for sure 3. Try to get 3 in the top 20 this year.
Frontenac head coach Brady Hill has led the Raiders to a top 6 finish in the last 2 years. His goal for the team this year is to improve and finish as a top 3 team in state.
We've got bigger numbers out this year for our team, so as a team, I'm excited about the depth that we have. The last couple of years we've had 6, 7 kids out, so having bigger numbers allows us more depth and more competition in practice.
Hill's son Aiden is a junior. He finished in second place behind Pyle Tuesday. His mind is always on how he can improve his game each week.
Just focus on beating myself from last tournament, improving on my own score.
Frontenac has more depth on their team than they've had in years past, but they have no seniors on their roster. Their upperclassmen now have to set the standard for the next group of golfers coming up through the program. And Frontenac will be back in action on Monday for a tournament in Fort Scott. The St. Louis Cardinals are off to a slow start. They're still under 500 with a 5-7 record, but tonight they kick off a 4-game series at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals get the shutout tonight against got shut out tonight against the Pirates 5-0. St. Louis drops to 5-8 overall this season. However, Brendan Donovan goes 2 for 5 with a double, and the Cardinals will try to even up the series tomorrow with the Pirates starting at 7:15. And well, Dow, it's amazing to interview those young golfers. No seniors on their team.
Really?
So the young guys are carrying them to state, and we'll see what they can do this year. But, man, they've had a high future, high hopes in their future.
No doubt about it. Some good days ahead. We'll be right back. Once again, the Neosho Citywide Garage Sale begins bright and early tomorrow morning, and boy, it's going to be a nice day for it. Huh?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be great because we're going to make it up right around 80 degrees. Now, we may be dodging a couple thunderstorms tomorrow night into Saturday morning, but overall, I think the weekend looks pretty good. Cooling down a little bit by Sunday, some cold overnight lows, but hopefully we'll stay right above that frost level.
Yes, indeed. Those plants are budding. Final sports notes.
Webb City had a great game today, and they won it off a walk-off single. 2 runs came in to score, and they're starting to get their season turned around.
Walk-off is the best way.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.